Do you know what you have to learn to master finding in cooking at home? From my experience, many people focus on the wrong things, and that's holding them back in their long-term progress. So let's talk about what you should learn if you want to take your home cooking to the next level. Let's start from the beginning. The first thing you should understand is how to create your own fine dining recipes. Most people cook recipes they see somewhere, in the book or on the internet, which is the point everyone has to start from. But if you want to move to the next level, you have to learn how to make your own recipes. What kind of components should be in the dish and why? When you start cooking and experimenting with your own ideas, believe me, it's much more fun and you learn much more in long term. The next step is to build your personal arsenal of different techniques and fine dining components you can use in these recipes. This is the most difficult part of cooking. Creating an idea of the recipe in your head isn't that hard, but if you don't know how to make these components properly, you're stuck. And by properly, I mean in professional way. It's easy to cook something edible that isn't horrible and most people won't complain. The difficult part is making the components close to perfect. Purees with smooth consistency, sauces with right thickness, greens kept vibrant, crispy components kept crispy. This is where most people at home struggle because they don't have proper feedback on their dishes and they never find out what's wrong and why. That is one of the reasons why I started my personal coaching. I saw this is something people are missing, but is necessary for the true growth. This is something that's easy to learn in the restaurants because there are many chefs around you giving you feedback so you can fix your dishes quickly. At home, most people tells you, your food is great, you feel good about it, but you stagnate in progress. Another thing you probably don't focus enough on is learning the why behind cooking techniques. Just learning how to make something isn't enough. You have to understand why you do these steps. What happens if you change the temperatures or time? Only if you understand the why behind it, you become truly creative. You start adjusting recipes for your situation and begin to make your own creations. I understand there are so many components out there. Sauces, purees, different meats, crisp, and another garnishes. So what I do when I teach my students and what I would recommend for everyone is to learn techniques from bottom up. What you probably do is learn everything one by one. Garlic puree, carrot puree, mushroom puree, and so on. That takes you ages to learn a good amount because you're learning from the top down. A faster way is to learn different groups of purees. For example, how to make white puree, how to keep it white, make it smooth, achieve the right consistency, how to season it. And then you can make 50 purees at the same time. Because vegetables like cauliflower, celeriac, parsnip, parsley root, salsify, you cook them in the same way. And from there, you can make cauliflower and curry, cauliflower and chili. You see that this way, you learn much more and much faster. And it's the same with sauces, vegetables, and so on. This strategy is one of the secrets why my students learn in just few months more than most of the people do in their whole lifetime, by learning one by one from the top down. So now you know how to make your components and understand the why. The next step is to grasp heat and time management. How to keep food hot, how to reheat in the best way, what kind of stuff you can do day before, and what you can't. When you are cooking fine dining dishes, you will have to do some stuff in advance. It's difficult to do it all at the same time. These skills are very valuable and help you to cook bigger menus for groups of the friends. On the flip side, if you don't learn this, your food will be cold, you will lose the color of your vegetables, or the meat will be dry. That's not the goal. So when you created your dish in your head and cook all the components properly, the last step is to plate them nicely. Plating skills. We all like nice plating, right? The first thing you have to understand is that the ability to make nice dishes isn't just about plating skills. I would say plating skills are around 30% of the success. Plating is very easy to learn if you have a good teacher, but the difficult part is to make nice looking components, as I talked about earlier. If you cook something that looks bad, with the wrong thickness, burned, dry, split, it doesn't matter how good you with plating skills, your dish will look always rubbish anyway. That's easily 60% of the success. So now we have 90%, and the last 10% is creating a proper dish, because not everything is possible to plate in fine dining way. If you have the wrong components, kung pao with noodles, curry with rice, barbecue, there are no real ways how to plate it properly. If you want to do fine dining plating, you have to create fine dining dishes, cook components to fine dining standards, and then use fine dining plating. You have to learn all of it, not just one or two parts, if you want to be really good. Plating itself is very easy to learn. You have to understand some basic rules, the purpose of components, how to position them and why. From my experience, people struggling most with the small components. I guess you know how to put piece of meat on the plate or spoon of the sauce. The main challenge is what to do next. If you want to be really good at plating, you have to learn how to work with purees, small components like crisp or pickles, and how to use herbs for decoration. This will make a major difference with your dishes. If plating is struggle for you, believe me, it's not because you don't have a talent, but because you're learning the wrong way. Let me guess, you find some cool looking recipe on the internet and try to copy the plating. But this isn't the way how to learn plating overall. You just have learned how to copy one dish. This is how most home cooks learn plating, and that's why they stay mediocre. The reason why chefs learn plating so easily is because they are learning from other chefs with great plating skills. And we are talking again about feedback. Real plating is only possible to learn when you get feedback from someone way better than you who can explain what's wrong with your dish, why, and how to improve it. That's what I do with my students on a daily basis, and that's why some of them can plate better dishes than most of the chefs out there. If you get enough of this feedback while learning some basic rules, you become creative and can freestyle. Because it's not about learning one nice presentation, but being able to make at least 5 different presentations of the same dish, all of them nice, clean, and elegant. Then you can consider yourself someone who understands the plating. One thing I didn't talk much about is seasoning. How to build a taste. That's of course very important, but I believe no one can really teach that. Many people always ask me to teach them combination of ingredients, what works together. But taste is very personal. I like different things that you do. People from different countries like different spices. So for me, it doesn't make sense to teach you to make chicken zucchini in thyme, because I did that Michelin star restaurant and I made that and it was great. But you might say, you know, I hate zucchini and we done. So don't look for magic taste combinations, because nothing like that really exists. And yes, you can buy books with some basic rules and combination that works. But if anything, you should focus on these after you learn all the stuff I talked about before. Because if your food looks like crap, is dry, with dirty plating, it doesn't really matter if you use carrot puree with lime, lemon or vinegar. You want to learn how to season food in general. What's the difference between using powder spices and whole ones? What's the difference if you use vinegar at the start of the recipe or at the end? Stuff like this will be very helpful, but the combinations are something you have to make to your taste. That's the reason I don't like to share exact measurements, because that's something you can adjust to your preference. My goal is to teach you the steps and techniques in the first place. Many people sabotaging themselves by thinking that to cook fine dining dishes at home, you need expensive equipment, special ingredients, a big kitchen or a team of chefs. But none of that is true. You just have to learn the right skills, and you can make the things you see in expensive restaurants easily at home with just basic kitchen. So focus on the things I was talking about, and you will see your overall skills skyrocket. And if you're not sure where to start and would you like to learn all I talked about with structured plan from the comfort of your own house and with an adjustable schedule that fits your busy lifestyle, my personal coaching would be great options for you. Check out the link in the description down below, apply on my website, and we can discuss your situation and find out if we will be good fit to work together. And that's everything from me today. Let me know how you like the new format of the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I see you next time.